Hey, what's up, y'all? And yep, I'm back with another preview and prediction uh video. So today I'm going to be doing the Alabama um Crimson Tide, and we are joined by an Alabama fan here. We got Christian Ballard of Ballard Sports Media.
What's up, Vic? Thanks for having me on, buddy. It's been a good off season so far. It feels like it's gone by pretty quick. How about your Georgia Bulldogs going back to back too?
Oh yeah, that was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep, that's right. So anyway, but today we're going to talk about your team. Yeah, we've got Alabama. So
yeah. So where do you want to start first? Because there's a lot we could dive into as far
I
as the
guess
schedule or the roster.
I guess we can talk. We can start with recapping last year. Let me share my screen. Yeah, I guess we could do a recap of last year's season first. Uh, yeah. So of course it was kind of it was a kind of a down year by Alabama standards. Yeah, y'all did lose 2 games in the regular season. Yeah, and really struggled on the road in a lot of games. Both of those losses to Tennessee 52-49, and LSU in overtime 32-31 were both on the road. Yeah, only beat Texas by 1 point. That was a road game. Uh, so yeah, only beat Austin P by 6 points. Yeah, 30-24. So uh,
Wait. Hold on. Let me
yeah,
correct you. We beat Ole Miss 30-24. We blew out
that's
Austin
right.
P. So
Oh yeah,
before
that's
anyone
right.
gets off track.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you did beat Austin P 34-0. That's right.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, but then you did, and then when yeah, the one game when Bryce Young was hurt, y'all had to bring in Jalen Milrow. So y'all did end up barely beating A&M 24-20. It came down to the last play. A&M had a chance to win it at the end, but
Yeah.
uh yeah, but y'all did end up in the season well. Y'all did blow out Kansas State 45-20. So
Yeah, it was overall, it wasn't the standard of Alabama, but I think any team out there, with a little bit of knowledge and dignity, I want to make sure I say that right. I think anyone would kill to have a 10-2 record with a bowl win. The thing is, though, it's Alabama, and we know what they've been with Nick Saban as the standard of college football. And I know it seems like Georgia's taking hold of that, but Alabama this year could get back to that. If they win a national title, they could show that they're still one of the best out there. And, that's what they're going to try to do this year. But as far as
yeah,
last year goes, it wasn't as bad of a season as we think it was. I mean, you lost by 5 points to two ranked teams in Tennessee and LSU, both on the
well, it
road.
was it was
So,
by 4 points actually, but yeah,
was it 4 points total?
4 points. Yeah, you beat
Okay. Well,
Tennessee,
I
but
mean,
lost Tennessee by 3 and LSU by 1. So,
okay.
but
Yeah.
hey,
I mean, either
yeah,
way. Yeah.
but hey, I mean, y'all beat ULM though, so
We did beat ULM.
yeah.
I was happy
Yeah,
about
y'all
that. I know.
absolutely obliterated them. Yeah, y'all beat them almost as bad as we beat TCU. So
Yeah. Um, but yeah, it was wasn't what we expected for the final season of Bryce Young and Will Anderson. And they did a phenomenal job this past year with how they contributed to the team. Nick Saban has said that many times throughout the season last year. He had said that. And, I think you could see that from them is how they contributed well. And, um, I know you have it pulled up here. Bryce Young had over 3,000 yards, and
Yeah,
um, who is I guess Jameer Gibbs is there too,
yeah,
926
yeah, yeah.
rushing, and
Jameer Gibbs. Yeah, he's gone
um,
to the Lions. So yeah, there's
yeah, I
yeah,
mean
Lions.
we have the talent there, and I'm trying not to make excuses, but I really think the coaching aspect of it, yes, it does reflect on Nick Saban. But I think a big issue was the offensive and defensive coaching and coordinators. I think that really held us back. Pete Golding is now at Ole Miss, and Bill O'Brien, who, thank you, Jesus, has left us for the Patriots.
Yep, that's right. It's a good thing y'all were able to get rid of your coordinators. That's right. Of course, Bryce Young did have 245 for 380, 3,328 yards, 64.5%, 8.8 yards per attempt, 32 touchdowns, just 5 interceptions. So yeah, you took care of the ball very well. Only 5 interceptions.
Right.
Right now, of course, he didn't put up the other numbers that he had last year. He threw for almost 5,000 yards, 4,872, but and 47 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Of course, he did play in less games last year. He had 15. This year, only 13. So
Yeah.
actually only 12 because he was injured in the for the A&M game. So
Right. And that's where Jalen Milrow came in. And, I know people out there like Uncle Lou call him Jalen Mildew and like to make
Jalen
jokes, but
Mildew.
yeah, I mean, I honestly though, getting into this season a little bit more, um, Jalen Milrow has improved greatly this offseason. I know it didn't look like it at times in the spring game,
Yeah, what
but
about the spring game? Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think part of it is the offensive line does worry me, but at the same time, I give a lot of credit to the defense. I just think that Jalen Milrow, when pressure's in his face, he has to get away. And there was pressure in his face there, and he just had the hardest time getting away from pressure and trying to, um, make something out of nothing. So, but we'll see if that can improve and change. Otherwise, Tyler Buckner or Ty Simpson, probably Tyler Buckner, if he can prove himself, which, by the way, he actually has 3 years with the Crimson Tide. He can have up to 3 years eligibility, so he doesn't
Yeah.
even have to start this year. But he obviously transferred for a reason.
Yeah, so you do think that Tyler Buckner will end up winning the starting job, or
I think it's possible. I still think it's Jalen Milrose to lose, but it could very likely be Tyler Buckner.
right? I know that Tyler Buckner wasn't w- wasn't very good
Right,
at Notre Dame last year. I think he was their quarterback for like the first 3 games, and they weren't. Yeah, Notre Dame was pretty bad in those first 2 games. Lost the first two, and then they did end up beating Cal in their third game barely. But I mean, it took Tyler Buckner getting hurt for that to happen, and then the other guy um, took over, and yeah, forgot what his name was, but
you thinking of at Notre Dame, Drew Pine?
yeah, Drew Pine he ended up taking over, and I think that he looked like he he was playing a lot better than Buckner. So,
Right.
but I mean, of course, he did come back for the bowl game with South Carolina and actually led them to a win. So, yeah,
Okay. Yeah. That which is good for him. So,
yeah.
but what else would you like to know?
I
There's
guess we
many
can
different
talk
ways we
about
could go.
I guess we can talk about your running backs next. Of course, you do lose Jameer Gibbs, 151 carries, 926 yards, 7 touchdowns, 6.1 per attempt, and also receiving 44 catches, 444 yards, uh, 10.1 yards per catch, and 3 touchdowns. So
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So it's going to be really hard to replace him. So going to the Lions, yeah,
it
after he
is.
had yeah yeah after he had transferred from Georgia Tech. So
Yeah, it is going to be hard to replace Gibbs. I mean, he seems like that generational running back that just is so hard to replace. That's almost irreplaceable. Alabama has guys like Roydell Williams or Jace McClellan. I think are going to be the first two guys up
yeah,
on the depth chart. You watch out for them in the run game, and after that, I mean, one guy that actually stood out in practice and in the A-Day game for our spring game, a lot of people like freshman running back Justice Haynes.
oh
Watch
yeah,
out for him.
Justice Haynes.
I think he wears number 22, if I'm not mistaken. So keep an eye on him in the backfield.
Yeah, looks like Chase McClellan was RB2 last year. He had 112 carries, 655 yards, and 7 touchdowns, 5.8 yards per carry. So that's al- almost as much as what Gibbs was getting. So
Yeah.
okay, now I guess we can take a look into uh, wide receivers next. Do bring back, of course, Jermaine Burton. Yeah. You got our guy from Georgia, and Ja'Cory Brooks. They both have almost exactly the same stats. Like Burton had 400 catches, Brooks had 39. They both had almost 700 yards. Burton had 677, and Brooks had 674. Then excuse me, Burton 7 touchdowns. Brooks 8 touchdowns. Let's see, and then Burton 16.9 per catch, and Brooks 17.3 per catch. So I mean, they were both very similar in their numbers. So it's like they're both almost the same. So
Yeah, the
yeah,
wide receiver core is definitely interesting this season because of Jermaine Burton coming back, and you mentioned Ja'Cory Brooks coming back. Malik Benson is a guy I've heard the experts talk about. He's
mm,
6'1", 195. He's a junior. Um, there's so many different ways they could go. A lot of people though liked last year's freshman Isaiah Bond, number 17,
oh yeah, Isaiah
blazing fast
Bond.
speed. I think he's the one that they were comparing him to Jalen Waddle. You remember him from a couple years
Yeah,
ago? He
yeah,
comes back.
right,
Kobe Prentice. I mean, it's deep at wide
right,
receiver. So
right. Yes, it's kind of like one of those, really kind of a smaller, receiver, but blazing speed. Yeah,
right.
yeah. And then you have Kobe Prentice and Trayshawn Holden. What about JoJo Earl? I remember he was supposed to be Mum Mum really good, kind of like another Isaiah Bond kind of wide receiver. But looks like he did. I mean, did
So
he? Yeah, did he get hurt or?
I think he did have an injury at some point. I'm trying to remember exactly. He actually ended up transferring late, right after the season. I'm talking, it had just ended, I think. And he transferred actually over to the TCU Horned Frogs. And so he's no longer with the team. I wish him nothing but the best. I guess he just wasn't seeing the playing time that
Mhm.
he was hoping to see. So he'll be, I guess, a sophomore this year because I think he was a freshman last year, but he's with TCU.
And then y'all had Tyler Harrell was a transfer from Louisville. Looks like he didn't pan out either. So
Yeah, it really wasn't the best receiver. There was a
yeah,
lot of hype around him going into the season about how good he could be, and we used him a little bit on kickoff returns, and it's possible too. I don't know, but he's not part of the team this year. I don't think he went pro. He's just what's weird is he's not listed on the roster, so I don't know what's up with Tyler Harrell.
Mm.
I must have missed that news. I mean, I could look it up, but yeah, he was a guy last year that um, got a lot of attention when he transferred. And yes, he did enter the transfer portal back in January, and I guess he just has not announced where he's going to play. So he's still trying to transfer. So he's not going to be part of the team. Now, as far as last year goes, he had really good speed. He had good hands, and he was healthy and a really good asset for the team up until injury. I believe. I think injury held him back, and he was out for the year.
Yeah. Anyway, so how about your tight end? Looks like Cameron Latu is gone to the 49ers. So yeah, 30 catches, 377 yards, and 4 touchdowns. So looks like
Yeah,
I'll do a few tight ends to step up. As you may have Robbie Oates or Miles Kitzelman or Amari Neback.
yeah, yeah. So um, those guys you just named are part of the team this year. The tight end position is one that I think a lot of people should look out for, especially I think it starts with lead man number 45, Robbie Utes, who's from Rock Hill, South Carolina. He's a junior. He's 6'4", two,
58. Yeah.
258. So,
Yeah.
um, and of course, I see you got the stats pulled up. It looked like 4 receptions for 43 yards. Did not get a touchdown. Um, he comes back and it's probably going to start with Robbie Utes. What's interesting though is they brought in transfer C.J. Dupree from Maryland, who had amazing stats at Maryland, just wasn't getting what he wanted out of it. So he ended up transferring to Alabama. So I think the tight end system, and I don't know what Tommy Rees is going to run. If he's going to run multiple tight ends, it's going to be both Dupree and Oots. If he runs one tight end, um, both of those guys could battle for that starting role.
Yeah. Looks like y'all do bring back let's talk about special teams a little bit. Looks like y'all do bring back Will Reichard, right?
Oh my gosh. I mean, this guy is hot rod
Yeah.
Blankenship on steroids. I mean,
Yeah.
y'all thought you had something special in him, which you did,
Well,
but
we did.
yeah. Will Reichard has definitely calmed the nerves of Alabama
Yeah.
fans when it comes to kicking. He
That's
missed
right.
a couple last year, but
Yeah.
I think he has hit from 50 plus in practice. He's hit from
Yeah.
50 plus in games. He hit a game winner against Texas last year,
Yeah.
and he's done a lot to help on special teams. He can, over 90% of the time hit a touchback on kickoffs, and you know,
Right.
I want to see this man punt is what I want to see. I think we have James Burnip as our punter, but which he's pretty good too. But yeah, Will Riker does come back, and it'll
Yeah.
be interesting
Yeah.
to see what special teams coordinator Coleman Hutzler, um, what he wants to do with special teams this year, and Will Riker is going to be fun to see.
Yeah, it's like I remember in 2020 when he had a perfect season on field goals. So he was 14 of 14. Yeah, and then
Yeah,
last year he was 22 of 26 last year. So yeah,
yeah.
so you'll have elite uh, kicker and yeah, and then what about your punter?
Oh, James Burnett is a Australian punter, and he's got a good leg too. I don't know if I trust him with kicking a field goal,
Yeah,
but he could punt it. Some people have said 75, 80 yards
right,
downfield. So,
right.
and he could
Well, me
hit touchbacks too.
Yeah. I mean, looking at this, it says average punt yard. It says 38 point 8. So yeah, and then
Was it
total
that low last
punts.
year?
It says well, I think I don't know if that's just for him, but I mean, I guess it's I guess it's for all punters, right? But I guess he was doing most of the punts, right? So
Well, you gotta think too, we were not, like, the number 1 punt
yeah,
team last year. We
it
didn't
said
have to
there.
punt too
Yeah,
much.
said y'all had a total of 45 punts for 1,861 yards, which averages out to 38.8 per punt. So
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna argue with ESPN.
right, right, right. Okay, so now then we should talk about the defense now.
Oh,
And of
yeah.
course, y'all do lose a ton on defense to the NFL. You do have um, W- 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 Will Anderson. Yep, definitely your best player on defense to the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
So he had
Yeah.
10 sacks last year. Yeah, 51 total tackles. So yeah, he also had one pass deflection, one i- i- interception. It looks like he returned that interception for a pick six. So
He did, I'm trying to remember, I think that was I'm trying to remember what game that was. Was it Louisiana Monroe? I think in
yeah,
week
probably.
week 3, week
Yeah.
4, and, yeah, he was able to return that one, and, I was proud of him. I think, it is a key loss.
Mhm.
I wish him the best of luck with CJ Stroud. I hope he gets some good hits on him in practice and, with the Texans,
You're
but
not allowed to. Well, you can't hit the quarterback in
I
practice. So
know, I'm just saying,
you can
I
only
mean, I hope he
touch
gets good
him, but
pressure.
yeah,
Hope he
yeah,
gets,
you'll be able to touch him a few times. Yeah. Well,
yeah,
I mean, the Houston's um, offensive line is trash, so that shouldn't be too hard.
yeah.
I mean, they were like the worst team in the league last year. So I mean, I guess you can make the argument between them and the Bears, but yeah. And then y'all do lose Henry Toho. Yeah.
Also to the Texans, yeah,
Yep. Also to the Texans. Yep. Henry Toho. I remember when he transferred from Tennessee, he had 45 solo tackles, 900. I mean, excuse me, 94 total, and two and a half sacks. So,
yeah,
and then, yes, and then in the secondary, y'all lost a lot. At safety, DeMarco Helms got
mhm,
drafted by my Atlanta Falcons. So
yeah,
67 solo, 108 total. Yeah, and then y'all do also lose uh yeah, Brian Branch, yeah, Jordan Battle, uh and y'all did also lose By- Byron Young at a defensive tackle to the
yeah.
Raiders. So
So here's the interesting thing though, we lose all those guys, but we do bring back a lot of experience too because of how they rotate. Um, by the way, I don't know if you saw this news, but they did pick up a safety from UAB today in Jalen Key. And Jalen Key has good stats, good numbers. I kind of talked about him and how he's like played 44 career games. So he has a lot of experience. I think it's going to be interesting to see how he contributes to the team. And Kool-Aid McKinstry is going to lead the secondary. You
Kool
have
Aid.
Desmond Ricks is a big time freshman that um, has gotten a lot of hype this offseason. That's looked good. Earl Little, the second. Yeah, I see you got on there Dallas Turner. He's gonna
Yeah,
lead the
Dallas
pass
Turner.
rush.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Braswell. I mean, here's the thing about Alabama's defense is they are loaded on the back end. They're loaded up front. They're loaded at linebacker. Um, I think
Yeah,
they brought
still
they even
have
brought in
DJ
they even
and
brought in a
yeah,
Georgia guy in Tresman
that was it.
Marshall. So
Yeah, no, y'all lost DJ Dale too on the defensive line. So He went to the
Yeah, that's the
Bills.
big
That
loss.
sounds Eli Ricks. Yeah, went to the Eagles. So, yeah, which I'll do bring back like Dallas Turner and Kool Aid McKinstry. So,
Yes.
yeah, and it looks like I'll bring back Malachi Moore. Yeah. So, yeah, but y'all do rotate a lot of guys, like you said, just like Adam at Georgia. So
Yeah,
rotating a
that's
lot of
the
guys.
thing.
Always enough talent to backfill. So yeah,
Yeah, that's the thing about Georgia and Alabama is that they, because of how they recruit so well and because of the coaching style,
yeah,
you're going to see them not only have guys play and start, you're going to see multiple guys out there getting an opportunity. The ones and twos will play together. The even maybe even third string guys get out there, and um, that's what I think you'll see from Alabama even this year. And it's interesting because the many different blitz packages that come with Kevin Steele this season, man, the pass rush, I'm telling you, is where it's going to be led by for the defense. And it usually is, but I think he's going to bring something special um, that Pete Golding had been missing
yeah,
these
definitely.
past couple seasons.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely not as dominant defensively as y'all were with Kirby Smart or Jeremy Pruitt. So
Yeah, it probably won't be that dominant, but
yeah,
I think it could get close.
I think y'all wanted to get uh Pruitt back, but I think he was not allowed to hire. So I think he was
I
put
don't
on
know
the
if
do
it
not
I don't
hire
know if it
list.
was a I don't know if it was a he's not allowed to be hired. I just think that he had such a record with the NCAA to where I don't think anybody wanted to hire him off the street.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion.
Yes. Now but we look at some stat rankings. Let's see. So y'all had the 11th total offense with 484.2 yards per game. And let's take a look at total D as soon as I find it. Here we go. Total D. Y'all were 13th with 318.2 yards per game given up. So really good. I mean, again, your defense wasn't terrible, but just like we said, just not as dominant as we had gotten used to seeing. So let's look at scoring. Yep, scoring. Y'all were fourth in scoring with 41.1 yards per game, which y'all actually tied with Georgia. So let's see. Let's look at scoring D. Scoring D. Y'all were number nine. Number 9 with 18.15 yards per game. So
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't the best in scoring defense, but we did okay. I know, like I mentioned, Will Anderson had like a forced fumble and picked it up for a scoop and score, or had an interception or whatever he had. And um, you know, we the thing about it is though, man, when the pressure's on the defense against the better offenses, it gets to them. I mean, look at what happened with Tennessee and LSU with the games they lost. Um, the defenses were not all that good in those
yeah,
games, and um,
yeah,
that's where they have to get better because
yeah,
Georgia's defense, it took care of LSU. I know they gave up 30 points, but they took care of it. Alabama could have do it,
yeah. It
but
was
I
over
think
in the first half. Yeah,
if Georgia shows that they can do it, why can't Nick Saban try to get back to that? You
yeah.
know?
And then you also had a lot of penalties last year. Y'all had 103 penalties for
Gee.
893 yards. So it was 124th, right behind Tennessee, who was 125. So we got to get those penalties cleaned up. So
There's one thing that really makes Nick Saban mad is the penalties, man.
yeah,
I don't
definitely.
care, dude. There was a game, and I told this to somebody. I think it was Western Kentucky, and I think it was like 2017, 2016, and they were up like 55 to nothing. Yeah, I mean they're winning,
Yeah.
and he had a false start penalty, and he got mad and just chewed Lane Kiffin a new one.
Oh yeah, I remember that. He totally flipped out on the sideline. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do remember that. And I think it was the Tennessee game this year where y'all had like 15 penalties. So,
yeah, I still question that game. A lot of Alabama fans said that Tennessee had cheated.
uh,
I don't know, but um, we'll see. I don't know.
anyway, so you want to go ahead and talk and get into your schedule for this year now. So,
Yeah,
guess I'll go game by game here. Let's start with Middle Tennessee, and that's an automatic win. Y'all should beat them by 50. I mean, I don't think that y'all will let what happened to Miami last year happen to y'all. So,
yeah,
and then just remember Miami lost to Middle Tennessee. And then
yeah. Well,
next
we
up,
played them. We
yeah,
played them 2 years ago. We didn't play them last year.
yeah, yeah. Well, I was talking about Miami did. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember when Miami lost to Middle Tennessee. Yeah.
That was funny.
Uh, but
Brought me
anyway,
joy.
and then next up, you've got Texas. This is gonna be a big game. Remember, you almost lost to Texas last year. So
Yeah, with the defense, like I said earlier a little bit, it came up big there at the end. Now, it being in Tuscaloosa this year, what's interesting is both of these teams are going to have quarterback questions at week 2, and who knows? I mean, could it be Ty Simpson and Arch Manning, 2 5 stars? Could it be Milrow and Manning, or Simpson and Quinn Ewers? Or I
it's
mean,
probably gonna be
there's
yours
many
again. Yeah.
different ways it could go as far as the quarterback battle for that game. That's why it's so hard to pick, and you want to stay away from picking that game, at least for right now, until we know
Mhm.
what we're dealing with.
Right. So I'll put that one as a toss up for right now. We can come back to it later. Let's see. Now we got at um USF. Yeah, what are y'all doing playing at USF? But anyway, yeah, it doesn't matter where it's played. It could be played in a Walmart parking lot. And y'all are still gonna win
Yeah,
by a lot. So
I agree.
yeah. Anyway, and the next up, you got Ole Miss. Has said earlier, Ole Miss gave some trouble on the road, but it's at home this time. So
Ole Miss can be tricky though with Jackson Dart. They got a 3-man race at quarterback, and Spencer Sanders, Jackson Dart, and Walker Howard from LSU. I don't know who's going to be quarterback. Surely by then they'll have their starter, but um, I think Ole Miss, because of Lane Kiffin and that offense, that hurry up and throw the ball downfield. I mean, Alabama's got to get their secondary ready by that game, and I think they can. I just don't know if they will.
okay, yeah, since y'all get them at home, though, I mean, yeah, I'll
Yeah.
probably give y'all a win there, and then same thing for Texas. I think I am going to give y'all the Texas game too. They'll get them at home. I think your defense and your home crowd will make the difference. So
Okay.
uh, yeah, I think the same thing with Ole Miss. So, but anyway, and then next up you play at Mississippi State, and now I think this should be a win. I mean, Mississippi State is going to be rebuilding this year. They did, yes, rest in peace, Coach Leach. But they do, so they do have a new coaching staff this year. So,
Yeah.
and then how about at Texas A&M?
Ugh.
Now, I think that that this is where you catch your first L. I mean at home. Y'all almost lost to them at home. That was with Jalen Milrow playing quarterback, so without Bryce Young. And at home, y'all almost lost to them. I think this year, on the road, y'all will lose to them like y'all did in 2021. So
I could see it happen. I mean, Jimbo Fisher's got a trick up his sleeve, and I just hope. I mean, well, I say I hope. I don't care, but I mean, wouldn't it be cool if A&M and Alabama had some offseason drama again between the coaches and
yeah,
they
that'd be
settled it on
funny.
the field again?
Right, but I don't right, but yeah, I don't expect that to, happen again like what we saw last year, but yeah, you're right, that would be, entertaining for sure, yeah.
Yeah,
And then next up, y'all have, Arkansas, and now I believe that Nick Saban has, never lost to, Arkansas during his time,
that is true.
in Tuscaloosa. So yeah, I don't expect that to change. So I'll give y'all a win there too. So and then next up we got Tennessee. Now of course this is uh, now when I was doing my Tennessee preview with TriStar, so I already picked this as a loss for Tennessee since it's the revenge game, right? I don't think y'all are gonna have 15 penalties this
Right.
time, so I think y'all will get the win against Tennessee. But
Okay. Yeah,
and
I think
then
so. I think so too.
y'all though watch out for Tennessee's offense. I do think Tennessee's offense is gonna be pretty good this year, though. Although I'm not really sure about their defense. Yeah, their defense was pretty bad last year. So, uh, but anyway, and then you get your bye week, and then after that, you get the LSU uh Tigers.
Tigers. Go
Yeah,
Tigers.
yeah. So, what do you think about this game, Ballard?
It I mean, this is who's gonna compete for the SEC West this year is Alabama and LSU, and it's gonna be settled on the field. I know there's a lot of hype. It is a revenge game for Alabama, and Nick Saban always loves revenge and,
Right,
loves to do better against an opponent the next time around. It's in Tuscaloosa.
right.
I'm not sleeping on it, but I think Alabama could still win.
Don't sleep on them. Yeah, but I mean, you say that that Saban doesn't lose rematches, but remember, he did lose the back to back to Ole Miss in 14 and 15. I do think LSU is going to be pretty good again this year, so I'm gonna have to give it to LSU. So
Okay, I respect that.
and then next year at Kentucky. Well, I mean, Kentucky is, Kentucky usually have, good defense and a good running game, but that's it. Their passing game usually isn't very good, and they do lose Will Levis, their quarterback, gone to the Titans. So, although
Yeah,
they do bring in Devin Leary from NC State, I mean, yeah, I still think y'all will get the win, and I think y'all will be able to out talent Kentucky. So
I agree.
yeah, and then next up we got Chattanooga. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's an automatic win. and you got at Auburn. I know that everyone thinks that Auburn it is not going to be very good this year. They'll probably struggle to make a bowl. Uh, of course, they have a new coach in Hugh Freeze, and they are having still trying to work out their quarterback situation. Although this is a big although this is the Iron Bowl, and y'all do have to go to Jordan Hare, which has
Yeah.
given y'all a lot of trouble in the past, but I still think y'all will get the win. So
I no, I know Auburn's got their issues a little bit. I like Robbie Ashford as a quarterback though, and I like the Hugh Freeze hire. Um, man, if Alabama drops one game, I see Tennessee and LSU as revenge wins, and I think if they're not careful, man, they could lose to Auburn. Auburn always gives them a game, and just especially at Jordan Hare. And you, as a Georgia fan, I know Georgia has kind of had their number against Auburn recently, but I'm sure you remember a while back when in like 2013 and 2017 when y'all would go to Jordan Hare and Auburn would even give Georgia a run for their money.
yeah, yeah.
So
Um,
that's where I see if Alabama drops one game this year, I'm betting on the Iron Bowl. I
okay.
hate to say it.
Yes, looks like I have Alabama going 10-2 with losses to Texas A&M and LSU. I just think that losing so much off of last year's team, losing Bryce Young, Will Anderson, Jameer Gibbs, and DeMarco Helms and Jordan Battle, etc. I just don't think that y'all can lose that, and I think it's kind of a little bit um, delusional to say that y'all can be you know better than y'all were uh, last year. So I do think that they're definitely gonna lose at least two games this year. So
I respect that and I understand. I understand that Alabama lost 2 games last year with Will and Bryce, and even though they got it together there towards the end of the season, they return a lot of production, but they also lose a lot of production, especially losing their leaders. And I think that could definitely, end up playing a critical factor in this year's team.
yeah, I know, but I know that a lot of people are saying this, but me too. I think that the dynasty is done. So
Oh
that
God.
Saban's retirement is coming soon. So could be after this year. Who knows? But
If we win a title this year, I'll remember that you and others had said that, and I'll
yes,
call you
yes, you
out.
will. Yes, you will remember what me and Uncle Lou and others have said. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, so yes, looks like that's gonna be it for this preview and prediction video. Anyway, so if you want me to do one for your team and be the guest co-host for your team, just let me know. This leave a comment you know hit me up wherever you follow me, send me an email or whatever. So uh but anyway, guys, so thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all again next time.
See you guys. Thanks, Vic.
Yeah, you want to give him an RT like you usually do at the end of your
Roll
videos.
Tide.
Yep, go dogs.